guys, welcome back to The Rotation, your unofficial home for Call of Duty Challengers. But we're here for the second day of Elite Qualifiers for Stage 1 in both EU and NA. And we have had already, before the NA qualifiers have even finished, some crazy results over in EU. So I thought I'd start off by doing this video, and then we'll do another one tomorrow morning to finish covering off the NA stuff as well. But as you can see, currently going on as at the time of recording, we've got LAG Academy versus Timor. Timor possibly just about to win this map and take the series and qualify for the Elite themselves. But that's not the important things that have happened so far yet this evening. As you can see here, superstars Kelsa Rooney, Genesis, BB Connor, and Ewan Disarray have all qualified for the Elite under the Superstars banner. They were 17th seed coming into the event, but Kelsa Rooney has become the first ever female player to qualify for a Challengers Elite, and this feels like a very important moment in Call of Duty esports, not just for Challengers competition, but for all competition. The inclusivity of Challengers has been a very important thing that Call of Duty have tried to push, and now that Kels has finally made an Elite, very, very well deserved, absolutely fried against RJ Halley in their final series for qualification to the Elite, and they will now go on to play in next week's games and beyond. That series wasn't without drama though. It had its ups and downs, with RJ Halley taking the control on El Asilo 3-1 despite being completely outslayed by the Superstars roster. Genesis really turned up on El Asilo in order to completely dominate the scoreboard, but it wasn't enough to take the map, with the teamwork of the RJ Halley roster really showing why teamwork is important in Call of Duty. They managed to get a 4 wipe over on the A side and take all 6 ticks in round number 4 in order to take the map and extend the series onto a hard point. But one of the more interesting things that happened on that map was this one kill that Traudy Koo managed to get onto BB Connor here, as he just leathers him with the Vaznev. I know there's been a lot of discussion between pros and Challengers players as to how good the Vaznev actually is. It tore up the scene during the Rally Open and the Rally LAN event on the pro side of things as well. But here's another example of the incredible headshot multiplier of the gun itself.
Takes her out, and now we start to see this attack switch towards the B zone.
And here is how RJ Halley ended up winning that control, as they managed to take a 17-7 life disadvantage and turn it into the round win in the round 4 in order to extend the series all the way through to an Embassy hardpoint. They managed to just get all of the ticks done and push the series that little bit further, but obviously it wasn't enough.
He'll be pressuring Jambo with the AR presence over the top. Jambo continuing to keep things alive here for RJ Halley, and Genesis will get shut down. Could this be it? Could they find the win that they were looking for on this map? Disarray looking to try and make one last push, but it's just happening too quick, Cody. They cannot find themselves a way in, and Traudy will shut it down. RJ Halley will somehow, some way, make the impossible possible and find themselves a map 3 win.
Disarray has been left in dismay. A stunning performance from the man, but just not quite enough to close it out for his side and make it a 2-2. We're seeing a 3-1 drubbing here, and we are seeing at least a map on the board here for the side of RJ Halley.
That was a crazy stat line. Kels as well. She's putting up some good numbers, 23 and 16. Not bad at all, especially for...
And if we take a look at some of the stats here from that series that saw the Superstars roster qualify for the first season of Challengers Elite, every single member of that Superstars roster, Kelsa Rooney, BB Connor, Genesis, and Disarray, all going positive in the series, with BB Connor leading away with a 1.48 KD and 80% of his kills not traded. People talk about win conditions. I know Alan Hold Shift loves to talk about his good old win conditions, and that certainly was one of them for RJ Halley. They had to trade BB Connor, and they just simply couldn't do it. That's not all of the teams that qualified for the Challengers Elite on the EU side of things, though. This evening, Dark Side, another French team that makes 3 French teams in the Elite Stage 1 over on EU, they managed to beat Incentive Arise, the 5th seed heading into the qualifiers. They beat them 3-2, winning in map 5 to make their first elite. Zyro, Maxence, D3, Depper, and Umeko is the roster there that will be taking France into the elite for a 3rd separate team on this. Also qualified in EU are some legends of the game: Dave, Rafi, Henry, and Adam D. Frag as well. Dave, he's going to cause some issues with his team name choices. I'll show you in a second what he's going with for Elite Stage 1. But it is not going to be RDHD like it has been in the opening cups, Pro-Am qualifiers, and this qualifier as well. But Dave, the Call of Duty legend who moved over to Halo alongside Adam Peaty and Detain last season, he's back now, and he has officially qualified for Elite Stage 1.
One thing I will say, we have a moment to do it now, and I'm so glad. There's 2 things that could be the case here at the end of the series. The team could either be called Dion Quavcock III.
Yep.
Or it could actually be Dion K. Wavcock III, K being the middle initial. And I either want to apologize to the Wavcock family or the Quavcock family. I'm not sure which.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's impacting their legacy if we're using the wrong name.
No, you're completely right, and I think it may be a little bit. Well, that's the reason we have these laptops provided to us by DreamHack, is actually to do the deep dive into the family tree. Hopefully, we get a few seconds.
I have it on Ancestry.com. It's like waiting to be the profile to be approved. But I'm actually looking at both the Quavcocks and the Wavcocks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get an update for you on if it is Quavcock or if it's K Wavcock, and we will of course feed that back. Maybe to the analyst desk to break down a little bit later.
Yeah, they'll have it. We'll have Lottie explain it all.
They'll have the data.
We'll have Lottie cover it.
Yeah,
she'll love it.
She's been trying to avoid it all day. But let's talk about game number 2, and maybe about.
And then the last team to qualify for Elite in the EU region is Kez's Kingdom, the number 25 seed, managing to shock the 7 seed Brand New Day, and then the 15 seed, which won't be pronounced because it's just a random jumble of letters. Thank you very much for that one, Blade. But Kez, Scott Furamund, Higgy, and JW9 all qualify for the Elite Stage 1, as they will be filling out the roster of teams taking part for $50,000 on the EU side, starting next Wednesday. Unfortunately, it's not all good news on the Challengers side of things, as a few different players now have announced that they will be stepping away from competing in Call of Duty, including Australian legend Sets, who has set the tempo in APAC Challengers ever since the inception of the Challengers scene, and he has been at the forefront of competing over in the APAC region. He announced that he's going to be moving away. He's not the only player, though, to be moving away from competing after these elite quals. As you can see here, Keza Kian Bonsor, he is also moving away from competing. A lot of these Challengers players who are being put in the blender because of the way that the system works, they are not enjoying it as much, so they're making the tough decision to move away from taking part in these Challengers events, especially when there's not enough money there to really be sustainable as a financial income source. So it becomes a ticking time bomb for a lot of players who just can't afford to keep going in Challengers when they just don't have the financial backing. And then finally, another name to have announced that he will be stepping away from competing is Snake. Now, Snake has been part of the EU scene for 9 years before hanging up the boots, or the controller in this sense, following the Elite Stage 1 qualification in EU. His team did not quite make it, as they were eliminated in Losers Round 2 of the Elite Qualifiers to the Blade team with the name that won't be pronounced here because it's just impossible. Just so we don't end on all doom and gloom with the players retiring, just going to throw a little promo in for this clip of Eric Boom at the rally event. I threw a microphone on him whilst he played one of his early series in the best of 3 rounds. So we're putting together a little sort of documentary style video based on Eric and Team Notorious. So check out this clip just to end this video just on a bit more of a high.
Oh! What the fuck is he doing? What the fuck is he doing? What is he doing? Not bad. Not bad. Fucking hell.